To truly experience Durham's work, one has to see it in person. This exhibition features nearly 175 works that highlight his wry sense of humor and playful approach. But really, it's a body of work that is multifaceted. It encompasses sculpture, video, poetry, drawing, and performance.
He's an artist who I think has an incredibly original way of making work and of engaging with the visitor. So he works primarily as a sculptor, as you can see, with everything around me. And he works a lot with assemblage, so he uses a variety of materials and puts them together. And he has a very unique way of putting both natural materials, wood, stone, animal parts like bones and skulls and feathers. So his particular way of combining materials to create these incredibly vital forms, I really can't name another artist who I think does it quite the way Jimmie does. And then also his incorporation of language into his work is really unusual and I think quite profound. And in some cases he'll write a text in which he speaks directly to the viewer. And I always find that really captivating. There's a lot of humor, so people often, as they go through the show, actually laugh out loud, which I love to see. And so I think there's a way that he really wants the public to engage with his work in a way, just a very visceral level. He's very funny, as you will see that comes through in the work. Great sense of humor, a very dry wit, and yeah, just sort of fiercely intelligent. And it doesn't mean that he's not complicated or someone who I think hasn't grappled with very difficult things in his life. He certainly has. And yet, as he would put it, he's a real optimist. There's an optimism in his DNA that I think makes him incredibly resilient. And then also he really looks at the bright side and sees the glass as half full in this way that is sometimes incredibly surprising and remarkable. But he's an incredibly vital and important artist, and I strongly believe that this is work that people should experience and should think about. His work is very thought-provoking. There's a lot here. It's a large show with close to 175 artworks, so I recognize it's a challenge in terms of how much work there is to take in, but I think it's also very generous work, and I think that people will really enjoy it ultimately.